Hello everyone, Karsty5 here. Released in March of 2017, the Nintendo Switch has had an amazing first year. As of January 2018, 14.8 million consoles have been sold, making the Switch the fastest selling system in Nintendo's history and officially burying the Wii U. Originally codenamed the NX, there's been hype for the system ever since the first reveal trailer dropped in October of 2016. The possibility for a handheld with the graphics of a home console is awesome and can partly explain the Switch's success. I have been wanting one since launch, and finally picked one up at the end of 2017. So how does the Switch compare to consoles before it? Do the hardware issues that were pointed out at launch hamper the overall experience? Without further ado, let's review the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo's designers seem to have had one word in mind when creating the Switch: sleek. The entire system is very aesthetically pleasing and seems like a spiritual successor to the Wii U gamepad. With a matte finish, the Switch has broken the trend of the Wii U's fingerprint magnet glossy sheen. I'm a huge fan of this decision, as the Wii U really lost any sense of good design when it was left alone for more than 3 minutes. The controllers detach from the screen, allowing the system to be placed in the included dock or propped up on a table with a kickstand. There's a microSD card underneath the kickstand, which is a bit worrying, as it would be exposed if the kickstand were to break. On top, the game card slot is visible, as well as a vent for airflow. The unit is overall very small, and seems perfectly at home in the included dock for console mode. Speaking of the dock, it has a rough black finish with a cover on the back to hide the power and HDMI ports. A small green light on the front indicates that the Switch is turned on while connected to the dock. I have personally not experienced any scratching of the screen that occurred during the docking process, and feel that this issue may have been overblown. Even though games are what really makes the difference in the popularity of a game console, the system will inevitably be compared in horsepower to others of the same generation. The Switch has beaten my expectations from a handheld of its size and manages to hold its own in running modern games. Somehow, the Doom reboot and Skyrim are running on the Switch with decreased graphical fidelity, of course. The sprawling open world of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild runs at 30 frames per second most of the time, with some frame drops here and there. To be honest, I think this is a definite issue, as those not willing to emulate on PC are stuck with a subpar experience. However, the game is not ruined by any means, and the ability to play on the go in 720p without a bulky laptop more than make up for this downside. The system weighs slightly less than a pound with the controllers docked, which is simply incredible for the performance that is present inside. The actual Switch itself is a small tablet-like device with a touchscreen in the center and rails on either side for the Joy-Cons. The SD card slot can support up to an infinite amount of storage. It's just a matter of manufacturers building an SD card large enough. The main components are an NVIDIA Tegra T210 processor with a Maxwell-derived GPU containing 256 CUDA cores. 4 GB of RAM are also present, which is used partly as video memory. These specs are not impressive, but definitely offer an improvement over the Wii U and its very old PowerPC architecture. When undocked, the Switch lowers its CPU clock speed to save battery life, which is a shame, but makes sense as the Eternal screen has a maximum resolution of 720p. One of the more notable features of the Switch is a USB 3.1 Type-C port on the bottom, which connects the system to the dock, but can also be used to charge the system from a USB power bank. This is a great move by Nintendo, as the USB 3.1 standard will most likely be used for many years to come. While not even close to a modern PC, the internals of the Switch pack a strong punch when taking the device's size into consideration. Of course, a console can be the most powerful in its generation, but still be lacking in the essential part of gaming: actual games. The Switch, while only beginning its life cycle with 7 games, now boasts over 860 planned and released titles across all regions. Some of the frontrunners are as follows: The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, a sprawling open-world Zelda game which goes back to the series' roots. You can check out my live streams of the game in the cards or description. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the definitive version of the Wii U exclusive with all of the paid DLC. And Super Mario Odyssey. Seriously, if you haven't heard of this, then you might be living under a rock. Unlike previous Nintendo consoles, there seems to be actual third-party support, which is always awesome. As mentioned previously, Skyrim and the Doom reboot are both on the Switch, which is simply unbelievable. Joining these high-profile releases in May is Dark Souls Remastered, which will bring its trademark hard-as-nails combat to a handheld for the first time. It seems as though many developers are on board for the Switch this early in the game, which is awesome for the device's future. Over a year after the debut of the Nintendo Switch, 14.7 million units of the console have been shipped. This is astronomical and is on pace to outsell the original Wii. At launch, systems were hard to find as most major retailers were sold out. Sales have stabilized, of course, but the intense initial demand is definitely a positive sign. Nintendo took a gamble with an innovative concept and design, which seems to have paid off, at least in the short term. I got my Switch in December of 2017, I know it's a bit late, and have enjoyed the device immensely. There's just something so awesome about being able to play console-quality games on the road without the gaming laptop price tag. Sure, the system is not perfect, as the future online service and questionable future graphics viability make clear. However, as of this video, I would recommend the Switch, as some great exclusive games are on the horizon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, of course. And yeah, just have a great rest of your day. Bye.